Well, go figure. A decent episode of Impact. Actually, I'll go ahead and say it was a good episode. There was still a lot of shit on this show, but I gotta say they did a couple of things right and a couple of things that were way better than Raw. So here we go. It starts off with Hogan. Hogan says that Open Fight Night is back next week. Jeff Hardy and Rude are going to be a part of that, and that Ace and Eights will be involved in the Battle Royal. They got through this shit pretty fast, so I ain't complaining. Then you got Daniels and Kaz defeating James Storm and Gunner, and this was a pretty good match actually. Very fast paced, like moving at 100 miles per hour, like really like a lot of effort being put into this. Gunner and Storm look okay as a team. And, I don't see where this is going. I mean, good match, but Daniels and Kaz are going to be busy with, the Bound for Glory series, so they're probably not going to be fighting for the tag title. So, who are Gunner and Storm supposed to face? I don't get it. Hernandez is involved in Bound for Glory, so Chavo and Hernandez are kind of broken up for the moment. So really, like, who the fuck is left? They're just gonna be there, stand like a couple of goofballs with the tag titles, with nobody to defend them against. This is just poor planning. Then you got Crimson. Crimson, do you remember this guy? Sadly, I do. Crimson comes back out of nowhere. They say that the guy was taken off TV, but I believe that he was actually released from the company. But now they brought him back. He faces Joseph Park and loses to Joseph Park just with a roll up, like running into the corner like an idiot and getting rolled up. They brought him back just to job out. What the fuck was the point? And what the fuck is the point of re-signing Crimson? Is he re-signed? Was it a one-time only thing? I don't know, but I don't want to see him back. It's a waste. This is what I spoke about in my last review. It's a waste to have talent like Crimson around. This is not going to add to the credibility of this company. Guys like Crimson are not, characters, wrestlers that are going to help them overtake the WWE. This is like a lame brain type of, hiring right here. You don't hire guys like this or, no charisma, no wrestling ability. This is not a good idea. Then you got Mickie James and Velvet Sky. I actually enjoyed this segment. Mickie is handed a document, a doctor's note, saying that Velvet is cleared to wrestle. Then she just fucking kicks her in the previously injured knee and locks on this great submission move. It was like some type of Indian deathlock sharpshooter bow and arrow type of combo thing. And yeah, it looked pretty good actually. Pretty good segment, an aggressive segment. Made Mickie James look like a champion. Then it's a fatal four-way. It's Magnus and he defeats Matt Morgan, Kenny King, and Rob Terry. Matt Morgan, he comes back out of nowhere. This is how it works here in TNA. You got wrestlers that just disappear for months on end. They disappear and then they reappear. They go away, they come back. That's like Magnus. They're not there on the main show. They're not there for 2 weeks and then they come back. I know a lot of people have told me that they've read this is because they do tapings and they only have certain wrestlers in certain parts, for certain shows. And I don't understand this. Then why is Ace and Eights on every single fucking show then? It doesn't make any sense. You can't do this. You can't have a wrestler appear 1 week and then you don't see him for 2 whole months. This is not a way to get people over in this company. People got short attention spans. Most wrestling fans do. They ain't going to remember guys like Crimson from a year ago. Most people can't even remember what they have for lunch, and you expect us to remember guys like Magnus and Matt Morgan. This match was a little bit weird. What a weird combo. You got an X Division guy in there, and You know, like two worthless guys like Morgan and Terry, and a guy like Magnus who is not really over, but TNA claims that he is. You know, it was an okay match, not horrible or anything. So Magnus is moving on and the Bound for Glory, and these other three guys might as well just get released. Then it's Sting coming out. What's the next move for Sting? And apparently, even though he's done with the world title, he ain't done with TNA. Holy shit. How unfortunate can we fucking get that this guy has to be screaming on the microphone for like another couple of years. And worse yet, this was my least favorite part of the show. He talks about the main event mafia. A new main event mafia. Let me tell you something about the main event mafia. This fucking shit sucked back in the day with Steiner, Angle, and Booker T. I stopped watching TNA for a couple of years because of this fucking bullshit. The main event mafia. You're just walking around with all the fucking title belts, all just a whole bunch of washed up motherfuckers. One of these fucking little, like, it was a rip-off of Evolution Main Event Mafia. Main Event Fail is what it was. It was a fucking fail. And now they're going to bring back an unsuccessful stable? Are you fucking kidding me? The Main Event Mafia was created by Vince Russo. You know, you could tell it was Vince Russo's idea because it was a lot of the guys that he liked, like Scott Steiner at the top. I don't know who the fuck's going to be in this thing. I don't even want to know who's going to be a part of this thing. But I guess we're going to find out probably next week. But why? Why would they do this? Why would they bring back the Main Event Mafia, even if it's with new guys? It's just a bad idea. All this is going to be a bunch of fucking has-beens in one fucking group. You know, it's going to be really convenient because they're all going to be there on the screen at the same time, and I can say they suck. You know, it makes it convenient for me in these reviews. You know, this is just, it's fucking stupid. Why? Why doesn't Sting just go to WWE and fight The Undertaker at SummerSlam or some shit instead of making some stupid fucking thing like that? I'm sure if he went to WWE right now, if he actually went down to their headquarters, requested a meeting, and said, I want to wrestle one of your guys, maybe not Undertaker, but somebody else on the roster, I am sure that they would hire him right there on the spot. So why doesn't he go and do that? Instead, this stubborn-ass motherfucker has to go and recreate an old group that no one even liked. Then you got Austin Aries defeating Eric Young. Ho-ho, again. You know, this was a decent match. Not a good match, but a decent one. And I really do like Eric Young. It's a real shame. This is another guy. He disappears for 3 months. He's, you know, I know that he's on Explosion a lot. But that shit doesn't even fucking air in this motherfucking country. It's in the UK or whatever. You know, so what is the point of that? You got a guy like Eric Young. He's got more charisma than most of the guys on the TNA roster. Instead, he's made it into a comedy character, not to be taken seriously. But the guy is funny. He's entertaining. He made me laugh during the match. You know, I really don't see the point. And now he's not going to be in the Bound for Glory series. You know, Aries deserves to be there too, obviously. But they should have just then put him in another match. He deserves to be in the tournament. Because the guy is, you know, I like him. I think that he deserves to be there. He tries hard, you know. He tries hard to entertain and develop a character. And, yeah, this, it's a real shame that the guy only appears like once every 3 months. It's, you know, he comes back, he goes away. I don't understand it. Then you got Mr. Anderson winning a Battle Royal at the Aces and Eights. The Aces and Eights Battle Royal. And what a fucking cheap Battle Royal this was. You know, they do some jokes. It was very NWO finger poke of doom thing. I don't know why they do shit like this because it didn't go over back in the day. It was like an extended finger poke of doom. He does little things like pretending like he's going to throw somebody out. The problem I got with this type of shit is this. Wrestling is fucking fake. Making it look even faker on purpose is just a bad idea and you don't do it. Don't ever allude to the fact that it might be fake on the show, because the whole point of professional wrestling is to make the audience think that it is real. You know, you're like in a movie, you're not going to make it look fake. You're going to try to make the audience suspend their disbelief as much as possible. But when they do shit like this, that's bad. At the end, Doc refuses to go out and they end up fighting, but then Mr. Anderson throws him over like he's nothing. So that was a waste. And then after that, they're just arguing. They could have made this awesome. Once again, they could have made a new star here. Doc could have, went crazy, started hitting the Ace and Eights maybe with a chair or something, and became like, another top singles wrestler, but they didn't do that. They might have a slow build. Maybe Ace and Eights will slowly start to break apart. I hope so, because this shit's getting fucking old already. Things been going on for over a fucking year already. Over a fucking year. And they're still with this fucking storyline, and it still ain't over. Still ain't over. Over in a number of ways. It hasn't ended yet, and it's still not getting a massive crowd response either. It's not getting ratings. So if it ain't getting ratings, if it can't even get the 1.0 right there, it ain't over. Trust me. Then the main event, AJ Styles defeating Kurt Angle. Holy shit, a good match. A very good match, actually. Very good. AJ has sort of slowed things in the ring a little bit, but there was less botches. Usually AJ Styles matches contain botches. This one didn't. He looked a lot more focused in there. Looked like he had a game plan. Not that I liked AJ Styles before this little change of his, but he was getting very stale. This is a little bit of a retooling of him. I'm not liking the new attire and shit that he's wearing and the new emo attitude, but he did look slightly better in the ring, a little bit more refined. He looked like he belonged in the main event instead of, looking like some guy that, would be jobbing on Velocity, basically. He actually looked more like a star than he ever did. And, he has wrestled a lot of good matches in the past, but there was just something where I saw some development in him on this particular night. He looked like he belonged in the Elite. The ending was a little bit lame with the Ace and Eights run-ins. It ending with a schoolboy. And now Kurt Angle isn't even going to be in the fucking tournament. Can Kurt Angle just pick his ass up, quit this shit, and go to WWE, please? It's enough already. After wrestling a match like this, showing that Angle could do, practically no wrong in the ring, why is he not going to be involved in the title picture? What the fuck is the point having a main eventer like Kurt Angle in there, a big time star, a few, Hall of Famer? I'll still call him a future Hall of Famer, because the fact of the matter is he ain't a true Hall of Famer until they put him in the WWE Hall of Fame, and he will be in there one day. But the thing is, this is just a fucking waste. You can't have a guy the caliber of Kurt Angle. That's like taking Stone Cold. That's like if they had Stone Cold in TNA, which would never happen, by the way, in a million fucking years. But if he was there and they had him do the same thing, just basically jobbing to people, that's all Angle does. He loses, and it's pretty damn pathetic. Otherwise, a good show. Nothing overly terrible except for that Battle Royal. That Battle Royal was a piece of shit. But everything else, I pretty much liked. Crimson's match was short, so I can't really complain too much about that either. Yeah, so this is the problem with TNA. Sometimes they get some good shows going. Other times, they got some really shitty ones. But this was a good one. Alright.